In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create Azure AI agents through Foundry Service SDKs. Even if you have a basic understanding of Python and Azure, don't worry, I'm going to keep it very simple. You can understand it in next 10 minutes. If you haven't watched my last two videos where I have demonstrated about Azure AI Foundry portal, and also in the last video particularly, I have shown you how you can create agents through UI. Creating agents through UI is very simple, whereas when it comes to the enterprise setup, they will actually ask you to create agents through SDKs because of security purposes. So most of the organizations ask you to create agents and manage it through SDKs. So this session will be most helpful for you if you are a beginner. So here I have used Azure Foundry SDK. So before you start developing anything, you need an infrastructure. So you can install Visual Studio Code, VS Code software, and post installing it, you should install Azure CLI. So you can directly type install Azure CLI on Windows, go for MSI Microsoft installer, and you can download this based on your configuration. So post doing this, why you need Azure CLI? Basically, it is helpful for authenticating you with Microsoft Azure. And in the VS Code, so these are the requirements.txt. So these are the client libraries I'm using. So once you do this, what I would suggest is, I have given every instructions in .md. I'm going to keep everything in the description. You can follow it through. First, you have to create a virtual environment, Python m venv env. Env is my environment name. Post doing this, install the requirements.txt. It's going to install all the client libraries for you. Post doing that, you have to start with Azure Login. So I'm going to show you. So this is my agent.py. So if you see, I'm not inside a virtual environment. For doing that, let's go to .md file. Okay, this environment is already created. You can actually have already executed it. So I'm just taking it from this. Yeah, it's going to activate your virtual environment, which is env. First doing that, then pip install requirements is already done. Azure Login. Okay, you can directly execute Azure Login. So I'm going to select my Gmail, then continue. Okay, so subscription is there. So this is my active subscription. If you are getting any error, what I would suggest is go with this Azure Login tenant, and this is your tenant ID. You have to extract your tenant ID from the Azure Active Directory, and this is your device code, and you have to execute this Azure Login tenant, your tenant ID, use device code. Then once you authenticate it, directly the active subscriptions will be taken. Press enter. Now the connection is successful. Okay, then you are free to execute the code. Before executing the code, I'm going to explain you in simple what this script is doing. Basically, this script we are using it for creating an agent on Azure. So here we are uploading a file. This file you're seeing, I have created this inside a project directory. The category cost, basic small business expenses for office rent, how much I have spent for employee salary, software subscription, marketing, utilities. So enter this, and then so we are going to read the uploaded file, use a code interpreter to analyze the data. I'm going to explain you in short what is this means, and whatever the data we have uploaded, we can interact with agent and get the answers from it. Our final end goal is we are uploading a data and we are getting an answer from an agent. And we are using all these libraries. Import OS from .env, import load.env is useful for fetching the .env values. In .env, you have to give the project endpoint and the model endpoint, model deployment name. For getting that, go back to your Foundry. In the overview, you see this, select the first one, Microsoft Foundry, and then Microsoft Foundry project endpoint. Copy this and then paste it here. For the model deployment name, go back here. If you go to models plus deployments, so if you haven't deployed anything, I would say go and deploy the base model, and then copy the name from here and then paste it here. Okay, and from pathlib, import path. These are for reading the paths. Basically, we are uploading a file from here, so we need this load environment variables client library. So we are using this Azure.ai projects import AI project client. So if you are not sure what is this class doing, You see all the description here. So previously we were using azure.ai.agents. That was a low level version that used to only create an AI agents on the Azure, but this AI project client is a latest addition. Here you can use this for creating agents on the Foundry, and also it will create threads. I'm going to explain it very soon what is thread. So for memory management also it is very useful. So I would suggest go with this library, and then azure.identity import default Azure credential. This is basically Azure CLI. We are using this for authenticating ourselves with Azure. And Azure AI agents models import code interpreter and message rule. So AI agents can only read the text and generate the text. Whereas if we need to perform more operations than just reading the text and generating the text, we need tools. Basically, the tools are the features for the agents. So we are using two tools, code interpreter tool and the message tools, right? So code interpreter tool, basically it creates a Python code and execute it. You don't need to write a Python code. You need to enable the code interpreter tool here in the script. It will write the Python code automatically for you and execute it. For example, if you want to do a mathematical operations or analyze the data, or you are uploading a file and you need to get a result from it and generate a bar chart and any graphs, right? For all these analyzing purposes, we need a code interpreter tool. We cannot write a Python code for that. So this is a very helpful tool. And a message rule. Message rule is basically helpful for maintaining the conversation between agents and you. First step, you are clearing a console, and then the code will start executing. Basically, whenever you are writing and executing a code, Python executes this with a top-down approach. After here, it will directly go to definition main, and here it will execute this. Okay, you are saying that you need to execute it from the main. Directly, it will jump here. So here we are clearing the console. Like once you start executing it, everything whatever you are seeing here, it will be cleared, and it is a fresh execution. And then we are loading the environmental variables, and we are reading the variables, right? Project endpoint and credential authentication purpose. And here create a client to connect with the Azure AI agents. Project client is an object of this class AI project client. This basically a piece of code. What it is doing, it is actually creating an object for you. It is establishing a connection for you with the Azure AI Foundry. Post that, you have to upload the data. So these are the real operations we are doing here. File path is equal to path of data.txt. Data.txt is my file. You are uploading it, right? So Azure AI agent is in the cloud. The data.txt is in your local. You have to establish a connection and tell your agent that refer to the text file which is in my local. For that, you need to do this operation. And then with project client, so you have to use with. The reason is whatever happens here, for example, you are creating a file inside the with project client. Automatically, once it comes out of this loop, that file will get closed. So setup happens and the cleanups happens automatically. So here we are uploading the file so the agent can access it. We are uploading a file here, and for every file a unique ID is created. That is what happening here. And the main code interpreter tool. So whenever you create an agent, either it is through the UI or SDK, there are some parameters you have to pass. So here we need to give which model we have to give, which LLM model we need to go with. So here you see you are going with 4.1 mini. It's a basic operation. You don't need an advanced model. So go with any mini LLMs. And also I am naming my agent as this cost tracker agent test. I can also change the name because the test agent is already created. And you have to give instruction. Instruction is very important. So you are an AI agent that analyzes a company's monthly expenses. You have access to file containing this, and your tasks include calculating total expenses, identifying highest and lowest cost categories, and much more things it can do. We are telling the agent that you have to use code interpreter and the resources here. I'm printing the agent, which agent I'm working upon, and then thread. So thread basically stores all the conversations. Why you need a thread? Thread is basically, it is useful for storing all the conversation in an agent. For example, if you have opened any web page on the web browser, you see a screen, right? When you refresh it, you see the same screen, but these are two different sessions. Two threads are created in the background. The same concept here also. For an agent, now we are going with one agent. All the conversations are going to save it in this thread. If you create one more agent, one more thread will get created. And the last message is equal to none. What is this last message? I'm going to explain it in a bit. And then start an interactive loop, enter your message or exit to quit. Whenever you are doing a conversation with an agent, if you type exit, it is going to stop and you are going to come out from the process. Here, send the user message to the agent. We are capturing the user message and then we are going to send it to the agent, and also thread ID is going to getting created. Run the agent to process the message, create and process. It's going to process it. If it is failed, you are going to get a fail message. Get the latest response from the agent. Whenever you are doing a conversation, internally what is happening, a lot of interactions is going to happen internally within the agent. You don't need to see every conversation. You are only interested in seeing the last message. The last message is the proper answer what LLM is going to give to you. So we are only extracting the last message. That's all. So now we will run it. So before running it, so already we are in the env. Let me directly run it. Python agent.py. So it has cleared the terminal. You see here, created thread ID, and you are going to see a thread ID. If you execute it next time, you are going to see a different thread ID. Enter your message. I'm going to enter the message. What is the total monthly expense for all the categories? We have all the categories here, but whereas we don't see a total here. Click enter. It's going to take a bit, maybe 5 to 10 seconds. The total monthly expenses for all the categories is approximately $1,651. If you want, I can also provide more analysis or visualization of this data. The next question we can ask is to generate a text-based line chat. I given the instructions for the generating a line chat for the categories and their cost. X-axis being categories and Y-axis it is cost. Let's see how it's going to come. Whereas if you want to create a more advanced chats, so you have to use matplotlib and other libraries, and you can export this chat. And here is a text-based line chat representing the categories and their costs. You see this? Yeah. And we can see exit. So the agent is created. We can actually see it on the Foundry. You see here in the Foundry, a cost tracker agent is created. This is through the SDKs. What I would suggest is whenever you are working with the Foundry agent service, add one more block of code for deleting it, or else every time it will create a new agent for you. If you are just doing it for the learning purpose, add a piece of code to delete the agent. So that's it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed the content, and don't be lazy. Subscribe to Lazy, follow the content. Thank you.